SUVs are all the rage. But we all know that in South Africa, brand loyalty is a huge thing. The question is, can a brand carry a consumer throughout their entire life journey? Well, today we want to find that out using Audi's SUV range, starting from the Q2, going through to the Q8, from entry to exit. Before we go for a drive, let's talk about styling. Starting off with the Q2. Now, this is the facelifted model, so as you can see, the front end has been completely redesigned to look more modern and sharper. You'll notice at the back of the vehicle that the tail lights have also had LED technology applied to them. And the result is the whole vehicle looks modern and it looks chic. Moving on to the older sibling now, the Audi Q8. This specific model is an SQ8, so you've got very stylish and sporty S-line trimmings on the vehicle. You've also got these large 22-inch wheels, and of course, it being a Q8, it's got this huge grille that says, "Get out of my way." So, starting off with the Audi Q2, so the changes that matter the most on this vehicle is the fact that Audi has now gone from a dual clutch system to an 8-speed automatic. Now, 8-speed autos have become the norm with many modern vehicles, and the changing profile and how smooth it is what really sets them apart. And for me personally, I love the fact that they've included this gearbox onto this car. The engine remains the same. We've got a 1.4 TFSI engine that produces 110 kilowatts and 250 Newton meters, which means that it will happily overtake, but at the same time, it's not going to set your hair on fire. This is not a vehicle that is meant to be doing high-speed runs. It's meant to be a young, quirky, and somewhat eccentric vehicle meant for a person who is looking to be a bit more edgy and looking to be a bit more out there. And with this car, as much as it's a crossover, it doesn't feel like you're that high off the ground, but you still do get good visibility when you're driving on the road. What I like about this vehicle is that it's got a nice peppy engine, it's got good dimensions, and it feels solid on the road. Another benefit that comes with having a small capacity engine that is turbocharged, such as is the case with this vehicle, is that you get good fuel economy. Now, Audi claims that this vehicle will do 6.1 liters as its average, and I'm currently sitting at 7 liters per 100. The Q2 does offer a decent amount of space for a young family. The boot space is decent, but it's not class leading. Perhaps if you've got a little bit more budget, you can go into slightly bigger cars like the Audi Q3. But for someone coming from an A3, something like this does make a lot of sense. Personally, I must say that I'm quite happy with what the current Q2 has got to offer. From an aesthetic point of view, the car looks good, it drives very nicely, it offers good fuel economy with a nice punchy engine. The only disappointment is the fact that we do not have the new MMI interface, which is extremely important, especially for a more youthful audience who is going to be looking for technology such as that. And I personally think when you're spending close to 600,000 Rand starting, you do deserve to have the most updated infotainment system. Now let's move on to the big brother, the Audi Q8. When you can afford a car that costs 1.8 million Rand starting without any extras, you know that financially, life is good. Now, you might be wondering, why did we go SQ8 as opposed to RSQ8? Because we know that the top of the range Q8 is the RSQ8. The simple reason for that is because we know that South Africans traditionally, we love ourselves a good diesel. Now, if you want yourself a very fast diesel, you'd have to go this route, which gives you a 4-liter V8 diesel that produces 310 kilowatts and, wait for it, 900 Newton meters of torque. Now, what that translates to is essentially this. Overtaking this vehicle is literally one of the most fun exercises you can do, because literally you put your foot down and the car reacts. So, it being an SQ8, it's literally the cream of the crop when it comes to the fast Audi diesels, and I must say, what an engine this is. Obviously, when you're spending this kind of money, you're going to expect the best of the best when it comes to technology. And sitting inside this vehicle, you can feel that this is an expensive car. The whole entire dashboard face here is very modern and it's very attractive as well to work with. I've got a screen for my infotainment side of things, and I've also got a screen for my air conditioning and my entire climatronic setup on the car. You've got the lovely MMI touch system on this vehicle. And for me personally, that revolutionized how the infotainment systems in Audis work. It's modern, it's intuitive, and I'm pretty sure even a person who's not used to modern technology would find that it's quite easy to navigate this system. Now, interestingly, I'm currently in dynamic mode in this car. And it having air suspension, what it allows me to do as well is that as I toggle between various modes, when I'm in dynamic, the vehicle becomes more low slung. When I'm in off-road mode, for instance, the vehicle will ride slightly higher to make sure that you can get through whatever obstacles you want to get through. When it comes to space, you're sorted because you can easily fit 3 people comfortably at the back with their luggage included. This car, the claimed fuel consumption figure is 8.1 liters per 100. And if I look at my vehicle data, I can tell you that I'm currently doing 10 liters per 100 kilometers. You know, at the end of the day, who am I to tell you how to spend your hard-earned cash? What I can tell you though is that the Q8 is a lovely option for somebody looking for a car that is both fast, practical, and at the same time, quite economical. So today's exercise has proved that whether you're a young and upcoming person looking for an SUV or you're a more established baller, there is an Audi for everybody. That's it.